Hey guys, how's it going today? Many of us sandwich shop operators, we think that we have a sales problem. When our profit isn't there, we think we need more sales, more customers, but we don't. What we usually need is more control. What am I talking about? I mean, these problems that are contributing to the lack of profit that we're seeing at the end of the month usually isn't one big problem. We're always looking for that big standout problem, right? That's going to say, oh, that's it, that's the culprit. And sometimes it can be that, right? But usually, in my experience, what I've found is that you're stacking a bunch of small problems up and they're right under our nose. You may even be aware of them. I have been, and when we turn a blind eye to it, it doesn't go away, it keeps stacking up. And these small things are adding up and costing you thousands a month. I know because I've lived it. So thousands of dollars a month over portioning, over prepping, pricing issues, things of that nature. In this video, that's what I want to talk to you about. Some simple things to look at that are costing you a lot of money. So you correct these in your shop and you're going to save and you're going to see your profit improve right away. I know, I've done it, I've lived it, I've gone through the valley and the peak. So I'd like to go ahead and pass some of that information on to you, see if it can be helpful, whether you're starting off new in this business or if you're existing and you're wondering what's happening. We're here together and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you identify some things that I learned along the way. Okay, so I hope this can be helpful for you. So let's talk about the real issues at hand. Like I said, a lot of times owners think that sales are the issue, but they aren't. The real problem is operational systems and lack of control. And the moment that we address that and we're honest with it is the moment things start to improve. Admitting we have a problem and then start marching forward looking for the solution, looking for ways to identify these things and how we can improve them. As I mentioned, usually the things that are contributing to your lack of profit isn't the lack of sales, it's the lack of control and breakdown in your system. A lot of things that stack up that quietly eat away at you. These little breakdowns can cost thousands of dollars every month. Usually they're little leaks that are just leaking all month. Just imagine you have a pipe that's leaking water every month, and then at the end of the month, like, why is my water bill so high? And why is my bank account so much less now because I have to pay that bill? That's what I'm talking about. And so what are these small things that are hurting you every day? Well, we're talking about inconsistent portioning, right? Over portioning. We're talking about weak pricing in your system, right? Not raising the prices when you need to. We're talking about delivery platform charges, menu prices on your delivery systems eating away at your profits. We're talking about over prepping. We're talking about waste that's happening. We're talking about not tracking your waste also. Breakdown in the system that's really contributing, because if you're not tracking these things, well, then they become the norm. They become the norm at your shop. And then whatever it is that you don't inspect just becomes the problem, right? It becomes a problem. It gets loose in your operation. And before you know it, there's just a breakdown across the board. So paying attention to some of these things here, really important, because these are the things, these are the drivers that will improve your profit. And no one notices these things, but your profit and loss statement does, right? You look down at that and you go, gosh, it's just not adding up. How come my gross profit margin is lower? How come my food costs are high? Why are my labor costs high? These things all add up, and we have to look in the mirror and we have to admit that the problem is with us. A lot of times the money is there, we already have the money, but it's just bleeding out slowly. We're spending it the wrong way by just having zero control. And these are silent profit killers. These things just really hurt you simply because we're not tracking them, right? Just like you have a lot of money in the bank account and you're just out there like just spreading it around, right? Well, before you know it, you're gonna say, oh, where did it all go? So we have to look at ourselves in the mirror. How tight are our controls? What's our budget? What are the numbers that we should be hitting? And you have to track these daily, weekly, monthly. You have to be on top of it because the cost of doing business is high. There are too many variables constantly coming at you that can disrupt the flow of your revenue, the flow of your profit, right? So we need to stay on top of these systems and make sure that they don't break down, because a breakdown of the system just means a breakdown of our shop and our operation. And that's not what we're looking for. We work too hard for this. You just work way too hard to do that. And this is the reality of operating a business like a sandwich shop that has a lot of variables, and it seems fun on paper, and it is, but it's not just about making sandwiches, right? And too many of us get into it because we go, oh, I love making sandwiches. Absolutely, sandwiches are fun. Everyone loves a sandwich, so that should be the vibe. It should always be the vibe. Sandwiches are fun, they're cool, let's go, let's get it cracking, let's make some sandwiches, delicious, right? But there's a whole system, a whole process behind there that when you really get serious about your system, when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I a sandwich maker or am I a business person? That's the difference, right? You have to draw that distinction. You have to draw the line in the sand, say, which one am I? Because if you're a sandwich maker and you're getting into this business because you love sandwiches, that's great, but that can only take you so far. You gotta have a love for the game, right? So you absolutely do, right? Making a sandwich, I love making sandwiches every day. I did, and I've got 1,000 plus recipes in my head. I'll share some of those in time, right? If that's what you're looking for. But it's not about the sandwiches all the time. You know, I can come up right now, you know, and tell you, oh, turkey avocado, Swiss cheese, bacon, you know, Dutch crunch roll, and whatever. I can tell you all about that, right? Heated, cold, how you want it toasted, it doesn't matter. I've got you on that. But the systems that are going to keep you afloat and generate long-term profitability, that's what you need. That's what you need when you open a business of all sorts, right? But certainly in the sandwich shop category, in the sandwich shop industry, and that's what we're talking about here today. So we talked about portion control, right? And lack thereof, right? This is a big one. And why? Simply because you're only one person, right? And whether you're helping out on the line or at the register or prepping, whatever your role is on any given day at your shop, you can't be everywhere all at once. So training the system is really important, right? If you've got sandwich makers, staff members that are just over portioning on everything they do, whether it's in the back of the house where they're prepping or on the line where they're making sandwiches, or all of the above, they're doing all those things, and you've got even more problems, right? If they're doing that and you're not watching, you're not paying attention, or you're not correcting it, well, you know, then the problem's going to persist and it's going to show itself on your P&L, right? So let's use the extra portion example we just started. 1 extra ounce of meat. Doesn't seem like much, right? 1 ounce. If you've ever looked at it, like a portion of turkey, like 5 ounces is like this much, right? Just the size of your bread loaf, yay thick, right? You know, fluff it up a little, and that's just kind of a standard. Some sandwich shops do 3 ounces, 4 ounces, 5 ounces, 6 ounces. Let's go ahead and use that 5 ounce example. 5 ounce of turkey, right? Well, let's say your slicer is not weighing correctly in the back and adding extra meat. So yeah, 5.5 ounces, 6 ounces, 6 ounce instead of 5 ounces. That extra ounce isn't too much. It doesn't look like a lot. It's just yay amount, right? Just a little bit more, right? Another, you know, thick slice perhaps, right? Or a couple small little ones are gonna contribute to an extra ounce of turkey or any other meat, right? But we're gonna use turkey. So our favorite friend, the famous bird turkey. 1 ounce of turkey does not look like a lot. I'll tell you, it's a little extra. And you could be losing it. Whether it's in the back in production, you might have a slicer, might be breaking off a few pieces and eating. If you don't control that right away, if you don't have a policy in place, that's gonna hurt you, right? On the production line, a sandwich maker giving an extra ounce of turkey away, whether because it's in the portioning or because they were being sloppy and mishandling the product and something spills over and they go, just put some more meat on there, right? That can really hurt you. That can really hurt you. Why? Let's say you make 100 sandwiches a day. Let's say you have 100 customers that come in, each one of them gets 1 sandwich, 100 sandwiches a day. So we're talking about 100 ounces a day, right? 100 sandwiches, multiply that by 1 ounce, simple math, right? 100 ounces. Oh, what is that for the month? We're talking about 3,000 ounces, right? 3,000 ounces of turkey going out the door, extra. So what does that mean? In sandwich equivalent, if you're using 5 ounces per sandwich and you've lost 3,000 ounces, right? So what does that mean in sandwich equivalent? If you're losing 100 ounces a day, 3,000 ounces a month, right? And your sandwiches are 5 ounces each, Well, the math and the division on that's about 600 sandwiches, right? 600 sandwiches a month that you could have built with the product that you lost. So 600 full sandwiches lost at $13.99. That math is over $8,000 in sales revenue every month. $8,000, 8,400 is that what I believe, 8,394 or so is I believe the math I did on that. But can you imagine that? $8,300, bye-bye, gone, right? Because of something small that you could almost not see if you're not paying attention. 1 ounce of meat, right? Just goes out the door and suddenly you've lost $8,400 of revenue. So it's $8,400 in sales revenue. Remember, that doesn't tell the entire story, right? Because we're talking about gross profit dollars and what you want to retain, because there's food costs involved in this, right? So if your food costs about 28%, running it tightly, right? And you're taking home, your gross profit on that is 72%, right? That money that comes in so you can pay the bills. So you're at 600 sandwiches, you are losing about $6,000 in gross profit, right? That's a lot of money. So anywhere 5,400, 6,000, it's still a lot of money, right? That's all money. You're wondering where it goes at the end of the month because you're hustling, you're moving every day, you're working long hours, there's some stress involved and everything. But let's be honest, a lot of that stress and everything comes down to the breakdown, right? I'm working so hard and the money's not there sometimes, or I should be earning more money. Well, it's right there. 1 ounce, one problem is going to take away about $6,000 a month from you. Who doesn't need $6,000 a month? I do, right? I know you do too. So whether you're starting out or you're along the way, getting going, or you've got years in, hey, we're here to talk about sandwiches and we're here to talk about profit, right? We're talking about business aspect. Again, it's fun to make sandwiches and the vibe at the shop might be loosey-goosey and everybody's having fun, but keep your peepers open, right? Take a look at your prep in the back. Who's prepping what? Who's throwing what, right? Watch your sandwich makers. Are they putting too much condiments on your sandwiches, right? How many slices of pickles are going on there? How thick is your tomato? How thick is your cheese? Do you weigh it to spec? Is it 3/4 of an ounce? Is it 1 ounce? Is it 1 ounce and a quarter? Is there consistency? How much lettuce are you putting on? Is it falling on the floor? If it falls on the floor, gets swept up and thrown out, bye-bye, there goes your money, right? So you have to look at all these things. Sandwich mistakes, why are they happening? Why are you throwing things away? Why did things fall? What happened? What's the breakdown? And you have to track this waste. So when you track this waste, there should be reasons why you had a sandwich mistake on the line. You should be sampling portions in your shop, spot checking the weights, talking to the people in charge, letting them know how important this is to you, to your operation, why it should be important to them, and for consistency with your customers. All these things matter, right? So again, if it's important to you and you communicate the reasons to your team members, and they'll realize, oh my gosh, it's not just about making sandwiches, right? Because your team members may not realize it. They come in, they're checking in, they have their job, they're going to be there 4 hours, 5 hours, help you out, and they're good people, right? They're good people, but they don't realize. You need to teach them the business side of it, right? I know I did, and whenever I got down to teaching my team members about the business aspects of it, where we're at, how we can improve, or how we did improve, these are all the lessons that they want to learn. And it's up to us, it's up to you as individuals, as business owners, as sandwich shop operators, to let them know, to communicate that we're tracking all of these things. Pricing, waste, over-portioning, over-prepping, all of these things. All these things matter, and it's up to us to indicate it and let people know. And we talked about that extra 1 ounce of turkey, just using that one example. We were only talking about the 1 ounce, right? What about the overportioning, right, of all the other things, or the waste, right? You could double that number. Easily be losing $10,000. For the people in the back, $10,000. Hello, that's your whole take home. That could be your rent and all your bills. That could be payroll. $10,000 is a lot of money, right? That can make or break you quickly. So you have to pay attention, right? We have to pay attention. If we don't, no one's going to do it for us. So identify, train, and correct, right? And then watch things improve. You're going to see the benefits right away. I want this for you, right? Because I lived it. And it's no fun when you're living it. It's fun afterwards, in hindsight, when you look back and say, whew, I fixed that problem. But that's what I'm here to do. Help you. I want to share some of these things that I went through, some things that seem simple, but when things are going at your shop and when you're operating, you got like bigger fish to fry, you think you do in your head because the customers are there, everything's busy, someone called out sick, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The systems break down, right? And again, you can't do it by yourself. So you need to identify and train and let people know and communicate. This is important. This way, all ships rise with the tide, right? And then you're going to see your shop's just going to perform better, and your bottom line, your P&L is going to reflect that. So the system isn't, oh, let's fix this by working harder, right? That's just going to wear you out and break you down. And guess what? You're going to work harder at the end of the line. Like you didn't really fix anything, right? So you need to implement systems. You need to review your systems. You need to make sure that they are working cleanly, right? So some suggestions to fix this are to have portion standards. People need to know what the builds are and what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable, right? Let them know things that are do's and things that are don'ts, right? Weigh your portions, right? If it's 5 ounces of turkey, then it's 5 ounces of turkey. If it's 2 slices of cheese, then 2 slices of cheese, only 2 slices of cheese, and each one should have a weight, right? 3/4 of an ounce, so 1.5 ounces of cheese on your sandwich, right? X amount of everything else, right? This contributes to your total sandwich production cost, right? Which we should all know. Like, okay, that turkey sandwich cost me about $5.50 and I'm selling it for $13.99, right? I'm going to make about $8, 8 and change on that sandwich, right? So then you know what your menu pricing is, what profit you're looking for, and have a good idea of what kind of profit you can generate, what kind of sales you can generate all month long. And you base everything off this, because then if you know that, then you know what your labor budgets can be, and so advertising budget, so on and so forth. You want prep controls too. You want a system, right? You want to know who's doing what and when, and what the system is. If someone's making you tuna salad, what goes in that? If someone is slicing your tomatoes, you want to know the thickness, how many they're getting out. Are they using a tomato core? Because when you use a tomato core, guess what? You get about like another 6 to 8 slices out of that tomato, something like that. And you just think, what's 8 slices of tomato? A lot. 100 sandwiches again throughout the month, year, right? A lot. So you always have to look at it as how it's going to stack. We want vendor checks. You want to take a look at what's coming into your shop. Many times you're going to receive things that are either already out of date or near date, right? You might get something prepped like a potato salad that's coming through your door and it's got a few days left, like 3 days left of expiration. If you don't catch that upon receipt and phone it in and get your credit, it may be too late to call it in when you finally realize it. Those things are about $20, $25 per container. And if it has to go out the door, well, boom, you just lost $25. I'm talking about one thing, and that's loss, and you're the one that pays for it. You may want to assign somebody at your shop as your waste control person. Somebody at your shop, people want to do more. They want to contribute more. Maybe 2 of them so that one can operate when the other one's off or they're not there, right? And you review what it is that they're finding. And what happens is they'll turn around and they'll go out on patrol for you at your shop and they'll check a lot of things for you. Again, you don't have to work harder, you want to work smarter, as they say, right? So now you've got assistants doing this for you, and they're also communicating out there for you, and they're reporting it back to you so you can review, and then you can go have your one-on-one with individuals or find solutions to make these things better in your shop. If team members identify things that are expired, you want to find out why. Usually someone over prep because they want to be prepared. If you reduce your prepping by 10%, you won't run out. Oftentimes you reduce by 10%. That's a good way to start. You'll have the proof there that you didn't run out. And if you do for some reason, because nothing's perfect, maybe you do, then you adjust and you maybe leave those numbers as they are as far as prep numbers are concerned. Pricing is another one that can be hurting you just quietly. And we all have these fears sometimes like, oh, I don't want to raise my prices because last time I did it, customer A said something and then customer B said something. And I noticed that person didn't come back. That's going to happen. That's just part of business. But you're going to find out all your loyal customers and new ones coming in the door are going to be okay with that. It's all in how you communicate it. You let people know that you're just trying to keep up with the food cost and the cost of doing business. Again, if they like you, they like your shop, and they respect you and your team and everything that you do, it won't be a problem for them. Ask yourself that question. I do, right? If I value a certain business that I go into and I feel like it's a fair deal, and if suddenly the price changes a little bit, I understand why. I understand things change, right? The cost of business is always going up. So prices need to also, right? It can't be going the other way. Prices are going down while your cost of business is going up. That formula does not work, right? So you need to pay attention to pricing. Do you have the right pricing mix based on your food cost, your sandwich cost, right? Again, we said that sandwich costs $5.50 to make. Okay, $5.50. So then are you priced right at $13.99 to generate the right profit that you want? And if your pricing is off, let's say it's a little lower than our example of $13.99, if you're at $11.99, are you able to withstand that price point and be able to cover all your bills, all the expenses at the shop, and take home enough revenue for yourself as well? Pricing is an issue, right? So once a year, at least once a year, you should be looking at your prices, if not more often than that, maybe twice a year warrants a price hike. And they don't have to be big price hikes, right? Start off slowly, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1. Start with one or two sandwiches, maybe a couple of popular ones. Or you can just go across the board. But if you're fearful of what customers might say or how they might react, well, then do it like that. Start small. Do it on your delivery platforms also, right? Because those menus are independent, right? And they're already charging you extra, right, with the delivery fee. So you have to already raise your prices to match the fees that they're charging you. So anytime you have a cost of goods price increase, well, then you got to make sure you go back and increase the sandwich price on your delivery platform to protect your profit at all costs. And there again, the value is in knowing your sandwich cost numbers, right? Knowing numbers is a numbers game. How much a sandwich costs to make, then that determines what you should be selling your sandwich at. So you can still be competitive and customers don't run away, right? But you're still being fair all around. Everybody wins. Nothing wrong with chasing a few extra dollars, especially if you're losing it. So if your food cost is sitting higher, like at 35%, or on an extremely higher end, 40%, this isn't like a sales problem. This is an operations problem. That's the truth. It's an operations problem. And it's us. We can do better. We can do better, but we have to identify and we have to be willing to fix these things. Things aren't always perfect. Not in this business, not in any business. But when we can identify this, reassess and say, what's going on? What's the problem? What's the solution? What's the outcome I'm hoping for? And when you start tracking these things at your sandwich shop, then you'll find that the profit is there. It was always there. The thing that changed was you. The thing that changed was me. My better years was certainly when I was tracking all of these things. My not so shiny years, they were the years where, I was just loose with my controls, having difficulty, and just didn't know why I was having difficulty. But it's in those hours and those, days, those weeks of grinding, when things aren't going well, where you learn. You learn how you can fix things, and you learn how you can succeed. And it's always with systems, and it's always with controls. If you're just getting started, there's a link in the description of this video. Shop opening guide, if you want. I put it together. These are things that you need to know when you're opening a sandwich shop. It's quite a bit too. I can't remember, I believe it's like 6 pages, you know, small points, a little checklist to help you out. In there also, there's a link. Book a free 20-minute phone call with me. Talk to me about your shop. I'm not salesy or anything like that. I'm here, I just want to help you guys because I learned a lot of do's and don'ts through the years, okay? And I can understand, sometimes you're flying blindly and the mistakes are costly. The mistakes are really costly. So if you want to book a call, 20 minutes, we can talk. We can talk about who you are, you know, get to know each other a little bit, find out what your situation is. If there's something I can help you with, I'm happy to do so. And you could always reach me by email as well. You want to send me an email, I've got my email address on my homepage. Or like I said, you can link over to my calendar there. Go ahead and book a 20-minute phone conversation that we can have free of charge. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to help you guys, okay? I know what that's like. It's not the easiest thing to get out there in business on your own. I've got a lot of experience, and I get comments or emails asking me questions, and it seems to me that people are looking for some knowledge. So if I can be a little bit of a resource for you, help you along your way, well, I'm happy to do so. Really happy to do so. So, okay, everybody, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it down below. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.